5 days ago, we started a conversation about a crisis hiding in plain sight, a $26.6 billion economic disaster that's devastating women's careers, destroying families, and leaving millions of brilliant minds clouded by preventable symptoms. We've walked through the fog together, examined the workplace exodus, witnessed the relationship heartbreak, and discovered the science that proves recovery is possible. Today, we talk about change. Today, we talk about how you, yes, you, possibly still questioning your own cognitive therapy, can be part of a transformation that could help millions of women emerge from the fog. Because today, something extraordinary is happening at the FDA, and your voice could help tip the scales towards a future where no woman has to choose between career success and symptom management. Welcome to the final episode of our series on the hidden menopause crisis in America. I'm here with Power of Little, where we believe that small shifts can create big change. And today, we discover how your small action can contribute to monumental transformation for millions of women. If you followed this entire journey, you've moved from isolation to understanding, from self-blame to systemic awareness, and from helplessness to the threshold of action. That transformation in consciousness is the foundation of all social change. If this series has been a lifeline for you, if it's helped you feel less alone or understand that your struggles are real and shared, then you already know why today matters. You've experienced the power of validation, information, and hope. Today, we multiply that power for millions of other women. Over the past 4 days, we've uncovered truths that validate what many of you have been experiencing in isolation. Let me remind you of the journey we've taken together. On day 1, we learned that 75% of women experience brain fog during menopause, contributing to a $26.6 billion annual economic impact. On day 2, we discovered that 90% of menopausal women report reduced workplace productivity, and for every woman promoted to director level, 2 women directors leave their companies. On day 3, we faced the heartbreaking reality that 68% of divorces involving women in their 40s to 60s are initiated by wives during menopause, with 70% reporting that proper treatment could have saved their relationships. On day 4, we explored the evidence that 65% of women see significant symptom improvement with proper treatment, and cognitive function can be restored in 70 to 85% of cases. Today, we transform knowledge into action. Today, we turn individual understanding into collective power. Today, we ensure that the millions of women who will enter this transition after us won't have to navigate it in the darkness that we've experienced. As I'm recording this, an expert panel at the FDA is preparing to discuss one of the most significant policy changes in women's health in decades, removing the black box warning on vaginal estrogen therapy. This might sound technical, but it's profoundly personal for millions of women. The black box warning has created unnecessary fear around a treatment that research shows to be both safe and effective for the 84% of postmenopausal women who experience symptoms of vaginal dryness, painful intercourse, and recurring urinary tract infections. Unlike hot flashes that may eventually improve on their own, these symptoms are chronic and progressive. They affect intimacy, comfort, daily activities, and quality of life in profound ways. Yet the current black box warning has made both healthcare providers and patients unnecessarily fearful of a treatment that could restore comfort and connection to millions of women's lives. But this represents more than addressing one set of symptoms. Removing this warning can set a crucial precedence for evidence-based policymaking in women's health, and it can open the door for addressing other unnecessary barriers to menopause care. It's a symbol of whether women's health concerns will be taken seriously by federal regulators and whether evidence-based medicine will triumph over fear-based policies. Let's be clear about what universal access to comprehensive menopause care could accomplish. Based on the research we've explored this week, the potential benefits are staggering. The first benefit is an economic revolution, $6.8 billion in annual economic savings through improved productivity and reduced medical costs. Restoration of workplace effectiveness for millions of women working during their peak career years. And prevention of leadership exodus that's costing organizations organization's irreplaceable institutional knowledge. Second, it can lead to a workplace transformation. 60 to 80% reduction in sick days taken for menopause symptoms, 70 to 85% improvement in brain fog and cognitive function, and retention of women leaders during their most influential and experienced years. Next, relationship and family preservation. Potential prevention of hundreds of thousands of divorces currently attributed to untreated menopause symptoms, improved family stability for millions of households navigating this transition, and restoration of intimacy and connection that symptoms have disrupted. Lastly, personal transformation. 65 to 85% improvement in mood stability and mental health outcomes, 70 to 90% improvement in sleep quality and daily energy, and a return of cognitive sharpness that makes women feel like themselves again. Think about this. We're talking about giving millions of women their lives back, their careers back, their relationships back, and their sense of themselves back. And it's all possible with policy changes that prioritize evidence over fear. The Power of Little philosophy teaches us that significant change happens through small individual actions taken by ordinary people who decide their voices matter. Today, your voice can be part of a chorus that reaches the highest levels of healthcare policy. The most direct way to participate is by submitting a public comment to the FDA about today's expert panel discussion. Your comment doesn't need to be lengthy or perfectly written. It needs to be authentic and represent your experience. What you should include: your support for removing unnecessary barriers to menopause treatment, your personal experience with menopause symptoms, if you're comfortable sharing, the importance of evidence-based policymaking in women's health, and how improved access to treatment could benefit you, your family, or your community. Visit letstalkmenopause.org/unboxingmenopause for direct links to FDA submission portals, template language if you need guidance, and real-time updates on the panel discussion. You can also share your own personal testimony. If you're comfortable, sharing your experience helps policymakers understand the human impact of their decisions. You can amplify your message on social media and beyond. Your voice extends beyond official comments. You can share posts from this series with your networks. You can use hashtags like Unboxing Menopause, July 17th, Menopause Matters, and Power of Little. Share your experiences if you're comfortable. Talk with friends and family and colleagues about what you've learned. Share resources with other women who might be struggling. Discuss workplace policies with your human resources department or leadership teams, and contact your representatives. Members of Congress need to hear that women's health policy matters to their constituents. While today's FDA panel is crucial, the broader transformation of menopause care requires sustained advocacy and cultural change. Encourage menopause-friendly policies in your organization. Support colleagues who may be struggling. Advocate for comprehensive healthcare benefits. Continue discussions that make menopause a normal topic. Challenge myths and misinformation. Share knowledge with younger women in your life. Countries like Australia and the UK are already demonstrating what comprehensive menopause care looks like, with national guidelines, provider training, workplace policies, and public education campaigns. America has the opportunity to lead this transformation, but only if women like you make your voices heard. If you've watched this entire series, you've given time and attention to understanding a crisis that affects millions of women. You've chosen to see beyond your individual experience, to recognize the systemic nature of these challenges. You've moved from isolation to understanding, from self-blame to self-awareness, from helplessness to potential action. This is your Power of Little moment. This is how individual women create collective change. This is how July 17th, 2025 becomes the day that policymakers began to take menopause seriously as the significant health transition that it is. The fog you've been navigating has been real, valid, and shared by millions. But today, you have the opportunity to help ensure that future generations of women don't have to navigate it alone, unsupported, or without access to effective treatment. Your voice matters. Your experience counts. Your advocacy today could help create the transformation that millions of women desperately need. The choice is yours. The moment is now. The future of women's health depends on what happens next. Thank you for taking this journey with me. The fog is lifting, the change is beginning. Your voice can help ensure it reaches every woman who needs it. Visit letstalkmenopause.org/unboxingmenopause to participate in today's advocacy. Subscribe to their platform for ongoing updates on women's health policy, and visit poweroflittle.com for continued support through midlife transitions. Share this series with women who need to know that they're not alone. Remember, your voice matters more than you know.